Welcome to English Portal. Hello students, I am sure you are keeping yourself safe and healthy in these difficult times, and I am also hoping that you are in touch with our English textbook and reading something from it every day. Today in this video we are going to discuss a very beautiful poem, Indian Weavers by Sarojini Naidu. Sarojini Naidu, as we know, was a freedom fighter, a politician, a diplomat, and also a world-renowned poetess. She is also called as the Nightingale of India. This poem, Indian Weaver's Beauty, lies in Naidu's style, that is brevity and simplicity. She relates her poems to everyday life and common people, and her themes, her imagery is always simple but subtle. Generally, alliteration, imagery, metaphor, these are the figures of speech which she uses in her poetry. This poem, Indian Weavers, also deals with very simple facts of life, that is birth, marriage and death, and how she relates it with different colors and lends it a deeper meaning that is very important to see. So let's not waste the time and proceed with the poem, beginning with the introduction of our poetess Sarojini Naidu. Sarojini Naidu, born Chattopadhyay, was a freedom fighter, poet and politician. A child prodigy, she entered the University of Madras at the age of 12 and later studied in London and Cambridge. Known as the Nightingale of India, she published her first collection of poems, The Golden Threshold, in 1905. After the arrest of Gandhiji during the Salt Satyagraha, Sarojini Naidu led the march, which we know as the Dandi March. She was the first woman to hold the post of the President of the Indian National Congress. She was also the first governor of the United Provinces, now Uttar Pradesh, and the first woman to hold the post of governor in the independent India. She was born in 1879 and died in 1949. Now, let's see the central idea of the poem. Indian Weavers is a short poem consisting of 3 stanzas having 4 lines each. In the poem, the poetess speaks about 3 types of dresses that Indian weavers weave at 3 specific times of the day. Each time symbolizes one state in a person's life, such as birth, marriage, and death. She relates them to different colors and different times of the day. The weavers weave a blue cloth for a newborn child in the morning, a purple and green marriage veil for a queen in the evening, and a white funeral shroud for a dead man in the night. The poem has been structured in a question-answer pattern. Now let's see the first stanza of our poem, Indian Weavers. Weavers weaving at a break of day, why do you weave a garment so gay? Blue as the wing of a halcyon wild, we weave the robes of a newborn child. First, let's see the meaning of difficult words. Break of the day. It means dawn, the first light in the sky before sunrise. The time of about early morning from about 4 to 5:30. Halcyon. It is a bird, kingfisher, which has bright, colorful plumes, that is soft feathers. Robes. It means long, loose garment. Gay. it means happy. Weave, it means to form a fabric by interlacing threads. ताना और बाना, उन दोनों को मिलाकर बनता है कपड़ा. That is called as weaving, बुनना. Weaver, a person who weaves cloth. Wild, untamed, living in natural environment, not domesticated. Now here is the explanation of first stanza. In the first stanza, the poetess questions the weavers, why are they weaving clothes early in the morning? The dawn is quite beautiful and charming and happy. So is the garment woven by them. The poetess is curious to know as the cloth seems very special. The weavers reply to poetess that they are weaving the robes of a newborn child. The robes are blue in color like a halcyon's, which is another name for the bird kingfisher, and the color of that robe is blue as halcyon's wings. Blue color here is symbol of royal and majestic beauty. Poetess is using it because child is apparition, a form of God. This stanza describes the first stage of life in human beings, which is full of freshness, happiness, innocence, beauty, hope, etc. There is no place for sorrow at this stage. The start of a new day is used as metaphor for the start of a new life. Now let's see the second stanza. Here again, poetess is asking a question to weavers at a different time of day. Weavers weaving at fall of night, why do you weave a garment so bright? Like the plumes of a peacock, purple and green, we weave the marriage veils of a queen. First, let's see the difficult words. Garment, it means dress. Plumes, soft feathers of birds. Veils, a fine cloth worn by bride to cover her head and face, ghungat or chunni. Bright, it means shining. Now let's see the summary of second stanza. In the second stanza, poetess meets the Indian weavers at evening or dusk time, when the sun sets and darkness paves in. Moreover, it is the time when most Indian marriages take place. She questions them, the weavers, why they are weaving a garment which is very bright. She uses simile to compare the vibrance and colorfulness of cloth to feathers of peacock which are purple and green. Weavers reply that they are weaving the veil of a queen which she will wear in her marriage ceremony. Poetess here refers to the adult stage of life when humans are quite active. They get married and quest for better and prosperous life. Colors purple and green symbolizes youth and prosperity, ups and downs, struggles and successes, dreams and aspirations in life, which makes the adulthood challenging and memorable. Purple color is showy and bedazzling, whereas green stands for prosperity and beauty, and both are the symbols of youth and adulthood. Now here comes the third stanza. Weavers weaving solemn and still, What do you weave in the moonlight chill? White as a feather and white as a cloud. White as a feather and white as a cloud, we weave a dead man's funeral shroud. Beautiful stanza. First, let's see the word meanings. Solemn means formal and dignified with sincerity, calmness, still, not moving. Shroud, a white cloth in which a dead person is wrapped or covered. Funeral, you must be knowing, a ceremony of dead person's burial or cremation. The last stanza of the poem occupies our minds the most and leaves us brooding over the ultimate end of our lives. In third stanza, poetess asks the weavers regarding why they are so quiet and calm, why they are weaving solemnly at the dead of night, not caring for chilly moonlight. Weavers soberly reply that they are weaving dead man's funeral shroud. On this sad occasion, they are weaving a shroud as white as feather and cloud. Weavers are showing respect to the departed by working in resolute silence. The word still may refer to immobility of dead. White is repeated twice in third line, signifying purity of soul and being more close to God. Thus, the last stanza emphasizes on the last stage of man and eventual death. Now let's see figures of speech in this poem. First, very important note that every line of this poem is an example of alliteration. Other figures of speech which are used in the poem are: first, weavers weaving at break of day. Metaphor, the birth of child is implicitly compared to break of day. Other figure of speech which is there in this line is climax. Words are arranged in ascending order of importance. Weavers, less important. Weaving at a break of day, more important. Second, why do you weave a garment so gay? Obviously, interrogation. A question is used for emphasis. Third, blue as the wing of a halcyon wild. Simile, because as is used to make a comparison. Blue colored cloth is directly compared with a wing of wild halcyon. One more figure of speech is there in this line, and that is inversion. The words are not in correct order. The correct word order is the wing of a halcyon wild is blue. Fourth example, weaver weaving at fall of night. Again metaphor. Adulthood is implicitly compared to the fall of night. Climax is also there. Words are arranged in ascending order of importance. Weaver, less important, and then weaving at a fall of night, more important. Fifth example is, why do you weave a garment so bright? Again interrogation. A question is used for emphasis. Sixth example, like the plumes of a peacock, purple and green. Like word is used, so obviously simile. The garment is directly compared to the two purple and green feathers of peacock. Anticlimax is also there. Words are arranged in descending order of importance. Plumes of a peacock, more important. purple, less important, green, least important. Imagery is also there. The words like plumes of peacock, purple and green, they create a visual images. So, it is an example of imagery. Seventh example, weavers weaving solemn and still. Here, paradox is used. Contrasting ideas are expressed because you can't remain still while weaving. Weavers are still, but they are weaving the cloth. So, these contrasting ideas are expressed in this line, hence paradox. Metaphor, death is implicitly compared with the stillness of weavers. Eighth example, what do you weave in the moonlight chill? Interrogation, obviously question is there. A question is asked for emphasis. Ninth example, white as a feather and white as a cloud. So obviously this is an example of simile. Whiteness of dead man's funeral shroud is implicitly compared with a feather and cloud. Again, imagery is there. Words like feather, cloud create a visual image. If we see the rhyme scheme of the poem, it is A, B, B. First and second line are rhyming and third and fourth line are rhyming with each other in all the three stanzas. Now, students, you are supposed to write the appreciation of the poem. There is a separate question on appreciation of poem in your paper pattern. So let's go through it. Indian Weavers is a short poem by Sarojini Naidu consisting of 3 stanzas of 4 lines each. The poetess talks about 3 types of dresses that the Indian weavers weave at 3 particular times of the day. Metaphorically, each time and dress symbolizes a particular stage, birth, youth, and death of life. The poem has rhyme scheme AABB. The poet uses number of literary devices to express her ideas as simile, metaphor, imagery, alliteration, etc. The poem is in question and answer pattern, which lends it liveliness and curiosity. The journey of life begins with blue robes symbolizing joy and happiness. It grows into youth, and purple green garment symbolizes challenges and achievement of youth. Joys, sorrows, ups and downs, hopes and aspirations are part and parcel of adult life. In final stanza, all colors vanish, leaving only white. All vibrance is gone, leaving only chilly stillness. This means human emotions are connected with life, and when person dies, emotions also die. Overall, poem is interesting to read and leaves us brooding over the ultimate truth of life. One more very important part of your question paper pattern is especially about the poem, and it is creative writing. You are supposed to compose lines of poems on your own and be ready or get ready to be imaginative, creative and experimental also, because it is going to be there in your question paper and you must practice it to perfect it. So here I am presenting 2 examples before you. First is extend the poem by composing a 4-line stanza of your own on the same theme. So you have to keep in mind the rhyming words or rhyme scheme and the pattern of lines and the subject matter of the poem. So we can extend the poems, that is, we can write the 4th stanza of the poem like this. Weavers weaving in the evening tide, what do you weave with joy and pride? Thin as silk to play with fun, we weave a graduation cloak for our beloved son. So you have to be creative with this question. Second example is compose 4 lines on the life of a carpenter. So here we are changing the profession. In Indian weavers, we are talking about the weaving profession. Here we have to write or compose 4 lines about a carpenter. So now you are free. You can use your pattern of lines. You can change the rhyme scheme and you can be creative. So here what I thought would be appropriate. Sawing and shaping a shapeless timber with muscular arms and perfect finger. In his chairless workshop, he fashions furniture, keeping in mind owner's relaxing future. So my advice is first you decide on the rhyming words. You note down rhyming words related to the question which is asked, and then according to those rhyming words you compose the line. So it will become easier for you. So with this we come to the end of this video. Keep in touch with English. Stay healthy, stay safe. See you soon. Thank you.